Hi, my name is Mady, and I'm on a journey to lose weight and welcome to the one sit down and talk video that I do once a month to give myself time because it's easier to edit and I have a full-time job outside of YouTube. In my fertility journey, I've tried many things. I've tracked my cycles, I've changed my diet, I pee onto an ovulation strip every damn morning. But the one thing I couldn't get the hang of when it came to tracking fertility was my temperature. There's actually a lot of rules about it, when you should do it, etc. But really for me, it was just a struggle to remember to take it every single day before I got out of bed. And when I was doing research on methods for tracking fertility, I discovered a review on the Oura Ring, and I went down this rabbit hole of reviews and content and posts all about how it works. So, you may ask, what is the Oura Ring? The Oura Ring is a smart ring that tracks sleep, workouts, heart rate, and most importantly for me, temperature, body temperature. I got the cheapest and most basic model because I am the cheapest and most basic of bitches. There are ring sizes, and it's very important that you make sure that you get the right ring size because there are sensors on the inside of the ring. I don't know if you can see that well. If not, I will show B-roll. But basically, if you get something that's too big or too small, those sensors are not going to be flush against your skin. It's not going to work right, okay? So you can actually order a ring sizing kit from Oura Ring themselves or from Amazon, and they will knock $10 off the purchase. But that didn't really sit right with me. I just think having a one-time use item is not great for the environment. And sure, I could resell it, but then the person buying it would have the same issue as me, and then they also wouldn't get the $10 off. I really gave this a lot of thought. I just didn't care for the idea of it. So I personally went down to my local Best Buy, and there's actually a free kit there that you can use and measure your fingers. I measured my index and my middle finger, but I just did not care for how it felt on my index finger. So I went with my middle finger. It just feels more comfortable there. I just prefer it. But the moral of the story is get your fingers measured because it does not follow the same size as standard ring sizing. It's actually a lot bigger. So get your finger measured one way or another by the official Oura Ring thingamajigs. Now, full disclaimer, this will not be a guide on how to use the Oura Ring. This will be my thoughts on a lot of the key features as a simple laywoman. I will link what I think is actually a really good guide down below. And another disclaimer, I don't own a smartwatch, nor have I ever owned a smartwatch. I owned a basic Fitbit back in the day, and she was rude and gave me a rash. But seriously, I'm just not a watch person. So I don't want to hear anyone be like, Mady, my Apple Watch does all of this. And I honestly bet it does. This is a luxury item. No one needs this. It's not a necessity for you to live, work out, any of that stuff. And if you have a smartwatch, you don't necessarily need this. But it is really good for tracking wellness. So I guess the basic question here that you may ask is, do I like my Oura Ring? Yeah, I actually really like it. If you're a data junkie, I think you would like it too. I think that's where the Oura Ring really shines. I do have a link below if you're interested. You can get 10% off of your purchase of the newest Oura Ring or an Oura Ring. I don't get that link for being a creator or anything. If you bought one, you would get the same link. It's available in the app. But if anyone does use my link to buy a ring, please let me know in the comments because I would love that. I don't know. I just think that would be really cool. All right, so let's get into it. And there's no getting around it. After spending $300, minimum of $300 on this ring, you have to pay $6 for a monthly membership to use the app. And let's just say, I hate that shit. I am the person that hates that shit. I just don't like being nickel and dimed by life. So with all that said, and it begrudges me to say this, I actually really like the app. I think the app provides a lot of value for that little $6 a month. It really does. My one hangup is that you save next to no money doing the yearly rate. I want to say instead of $5.99 a month, it averages out to like $5.83 a month, which like, why? I guess they're banking on people being like, hey, they paid $300+ for this ring. So as long as they have the ring, they're going to use the app. You do get a free trial for in the first month of having the Oura Ring, which is nice, I guess. But like, I don't know. I'm just not impressed. With the app, you obviously get access to your own data, but you also get to access some really cool things that I enjoyed, like meditation, where it'll measure your heart rate and your temperature. So you can kind of actually figure out, hey, did I get something out of that, meditation session? Was I relaxed? I really like that. The real ones on my channel know that I actually use the meditation part of the Oura Ring app in my miracle morning routine. So yes, I felt good about that. Henry and I actually listened to like a nighttime bedtime story type of thing, and he really enjoyed that too. They even have some Headspace stuff in there as well, and it's just part of your $6 membership. There's also this cardio walking test that you can do. It's like a 6-minute walking test, and it'll measure like heart rate and breathing and your speed and everything to see how well you perform like cardiovascularly. Is that a word? We're going to make it a word. There's also circles where you can connect with other people who have Oura rings. I feel like I'm talking with my hands a lot. I want you guys to see the ring. There's also circles you can connect with other people, but I don't know anyone who has an Oura ring. I'm the first person I know of who's heard of it. Honestly, the app is just really user-friendly, plain and simple. I like it. I can't complain too much about it. The ring itself is nice. Like, I feel like she's classy. She looks like real jewelry, in my opinion. She does get scratched and smudged. I've already scratched and smudged her. To me, I feel like it's inevitable. It's on your hand. It's going to happen. I got it scratched up like a few weeks into using it, and it just is what it is. Nothing bad. Amazon does sell some covers that you can put on it, but I actually feel like it's a little bulky with the cover, so I only use it if I'm lifting weights. My weights have like ridges on them, so it kind of would scratch up the ring more. But yeah, I do like to use them when I'm working out, and they are pretty affordable, and I will link those down below as well. I feel like you can break down the uses of the Oura Ring into 3 categories: fitness, health and wellness, and fertility. And we're going to start with least good to most good, because ultimately, I actually don't think that I dislike any aspect of the Oura Ring, but it has places where it shines and places where that shine is like just a little less dim. A little more dim? It's a little dim. And unfortunately, in my opinion, the place where the Oura Ring could use the most improvement is fertility, which is a bummer because that is literally the main reason I bought the ring. I don't want this video to turn into a review on natural cycles. In fact, this video is divided into sections, so if you don't give a crap about natural cycles, you're like, Mady, I don't care, please feel free to skip to the next section. You will not hurt my feelings. Having said that, also prepare for a rant because I have a lot of feelings. So for me, I'm in my 2nd month of using natural cycles, and I don't like it. I think it's bullshit. I don't think it's worth $10 a month. I have always used calendars and trackers, even before I was trying to get pregnant. So I was trying to put all that into natural cycles and get it up to speed, which I think it did overall. But here's the thing. My cycles are not the most consistent. Aunt Flo be coming around those mountains when she comes, once a month. But sometimes she's a week late. Sometimes she's 2 weeks late. And sometimes that bitch is early. She is so freaking rude. Okay. I don't think natural cycles knows what to do with that, at least not yet. It's probably too soon to make a judgment call on all that, so I will retract these statements if I discover that I was wrong. I will put it out there, but yeah, so far I'm not impressed. I did ovulate this month and last month, and both times it wasn't natural cycles. It wasn't even the temperature from the Oura Ring that told me. It was my ovulation test. In fact, natural cycles was like, hey, you're not fertile. And then I put my ovulation test in and it was like, oh yeah, you're actually fertile today. I knew it all along. Bitch. God. All right, I do need to chill. I just really prefer my old trackers that I used that were free. Pre-Mom will actually let you see all of your ovulation tests like right next to each other, boom, 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 so you can see if they're getting darker as the days go on. The only reason that I have natural cycles, the only reason is because I want to access my temperature. I want to access my full basal metabolic temperature, or whatever the hell you call it. So you might ask, Mady, your Oura Ring is the thing that's taking your temperature. Surely it can access your temperature in the app that you are already paying $6 a month for, and you can just keep a record of it yourself to see when your temperature fluctuates. And you would think that. You really freaking would. But you'd be wrong. You would be wrong. I cannot find a way to see my entire temperature in the Oura Ring app. I can see trends. I can see if there was a slight increase or decrease from yesterday and the day before that, but it will not tell me my full temperature. Now, I could be wrong, but I looked up a YouTube video on their website about it, and nowhere does it say, hey, it's right here. Here's your full temperature. Which honestly pisses me off because they have the data. You're paying for the data already, but in order to use it, you have to pay for another membership fee with Natural Cycles. It is bullshit, to be just quite frank. So, unfortunately, negative feelings about Natural Cycles thus far, but I do really hope that my mind has changed. I do. The next category where I'd say the Oura Ring does pretty well in is tracking fitness. I don't know how it compares to a smartwatch, but I have heard reviews of people who actually use a smartwatch and have used the Oura Ring, kind of comparing the two online. And the general consensus is that a smartwatch is better overall for fitness. If you're like me and you work out because it's good for you, not because you like it or even love it, then I think the Oura Rings actually would do just fine if you're kind of trying to decide between an Oura Ring and a smartwatch. But if you're super into fitness and you want to be tracking them gains, then I honestly would probably use something else like a smartwatch. The Oura Ring does use GPS, so you can track your heart rate while you walk, and it'll tell you like how far you went and how much you were like exerting yourself and the calories that it thinks you burned and all of that fun stuff. Smartwatches will do the same thing, and honestly, there's a lot of doubt as to if any of it's actually accurate, smartwatch and everything included, but it's nice to have the data. It's nice to have some data points to look at. You can log workouts after the fact, but you can have it actively record your heart rate in the moment if you are walking, running, or cycling. Something I like about it is that it will break down the intensity of the workout. So if I went on a 20-minute jog, it'll be like, hey, your heart rate was high for 10 minutes, it was medium for 6 minutes, and it was low or normal for 4 minutes, or whatever it is. And that data is really interesting to me because I want to know that I'm getting something out of my workout. It'll also send you activity reminders, and this is embarrassing to admit, but I had to actually turn those down a notch for the recommended activity. I'm like the girly pop that does 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week of moderate to intense exercise. And this godforsaken app would send me a notification after the hell that I had just endured and be like, hey, you're almost there. Just 10 more minutes of brisk walking should get you to your goal. Excuse you. How dare you? How dare you? You literally you felt me go through hell like an hour ago. And you're going to tell me, oh, 10 more minutes of brisk walking. Did you not feel me fighting for my life an hour ago? I'm done. There will be no movement. Take yourself for a brisk walk or a ring. Okay. The Oura Ring also tracks steps, and there's a lot of back and forth online on if people think that the step counter is accurate, and honestly, I tried to figure it out for this video, and I can't tell. A lot of people say that it underreports, and before this, I would just use my phone to track my steps, and now that I use both, typically my Oura Ring says that I've walked more, but to me that makes sense because I don't carry my phone at all times because I don't necessarily have pockets because of the patriarchy. I'm just kidding, kind of. But I'm always going to have this ring on during the day. Not having an accurate count of my steps isn't something that typically bothers me because I get my workouts done in other ways. And even if I were going for a walk, I typically measure distance or time, not really steps, so it doesn't matter to me, but it may matter to you, so I felt like it was worth mentioning. Last but not least, the wellness aspect of the Oura Ring, which I think this is where this really shines. It obviously tracks your sleep, so even if you don't mind your Apple Watch too much, you have to admit that this ring is a lot less bulky to wear at night than, a big ass watch. I keep saying Apple Watch, Android, and there's all sorts of smartwatches. I've noticed that she does shine green or red at night, but it doesn't bother me. It doesn't keep me awake. I will say every now and then in the middle of the night, my glasses are off and I'll rub my face and the light will go across my eyelid and I'll be like,
must have been the wind.
I find the sleep tracking aspect to be right on the money. And honestly, somehow it knows if you ate later in the day or even if you drank alcohol, it'll be like, hey, your heart rate fluctuated in the night. What did you do, matey? I'll be like, shit, it found me out. I typically will decide how I felt about my night of sleep before I check the Oura Ring, just in case I feel good, but it doesn't say that I did good. But we always agree. She and I, we always know. I will say I did miss one night where I just completely spaced and forgot to put my Oura Ring on after I took a shower. I will typically charge it whenever I'm taking a bath or a shower, and it charges very quickly and it holds on to a charge relatively quickly. So did that, went to sleep, didn't think to put it back on, and I missed the data and I was very upset with myself. I was kind of disappointed that I couldn't like input some of the data of like, hey, this is about when I fell asleep and this is when I woke up and this is how I think I've slept. And it really wouldn't let me do that. But honestly, I can't blame the ring for that. That's really my own fault for forgetting to put it on, you know. I do think it's really cool that it will send you reminders around bedtime like, hey, it's time to start winding down. This would be a good time for you to go to sleep. Because like adhering to a sleep schedule is the best way to feel awake and alert throughout the day. So I enjoy that. It also reminds you to stretch your legs every so often because, yeah, my ADHD ass will be sitting at my desk hyper focused on a task and I will stay there for hours if I can focus. And so it is nice to get the reminder like, hey, get up, circulate your body. That's not how that goes. Okay, whatever. So the last thing I wanted to talk about was the readiness score. And basically your readiness score is how ready you are to square up with life. Okay, I'm just kidding. It's not that serious. But I mean, kinda. Your readiness score is basically your Oura Ring's way of giving you like an overall reading of your metrics. It takes into account like sleep, heart rate, movement, and it's tailored for you. So like if someone else generally got 6 hours of sleep a night and they feel good, their readiness score may be higher. Whereas if I got 8 hours of sleep a night and I suddenly slept 6 hours, my readiness score might be a little lower than theirs. So it really is specific to any given person. If your sleep and readiness score is especially good, you get rewarded with like this cute little crown. And like the crown means nothing, but like, come on, I like the crown. Who are we kidding? I'm like, I got a crown today. A high readiness score means that you should like challenge yourself, you know, maybe get in a good workout, do some yard work, stuff like that. A lower readiness score means, hey, take it a little easier, a leisurely stroll, some light yoga, or just relax for the day. Ain't no shame in that game. I kind of don't take the readiness score into consideration when it comes to like planning my activity and my working out, but I feel like it's good to know because I have had days where I've been like, wow, I really dragged ass during my workout today. And then like I'll look at the app later and be like, oh yeah, my readiness score was kind of low today. So that makes sense. So it's just really good to have that data. So all right, it may be a weird note to end on, you know, dragging ass, but those are my overall thoughts on the Oura Ring.
Was it weird? Yes, but also rather pleasant. Don't judge.
Was it long and rambly? Yeah, of course, but you know, if you're not new around here, you know that about me. But these are the things that I care about as someone who really has taken control of my health this year. I do like it and I am going to continue to use it. I mean, I honestly love it. It's great. But if you guys have any further questions on anything that I didn't cover, anything you're curious about, want me to, you know, elaborate on, then let me know. And if you like this video or you want to see more videos on like the health and fertility train, losing weight, fitness challenges, diet challenges, you can also like, comment, subscribe because it really helps out the growth of my channel. But overall, that is it. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye. Bye.